We did it, guys. It works. All right. Now we have one last try. Share screen. Hopefully that doesn't mess up the sound. How about now? Can you guys hear me? Can you see my screen? Is Discord done tripping? Yes, yes. I love to hear it. Thank you. All right. That's awesome. So now we can finally get started. Very glad. I was saying that I was thinking about switching to X actually, which I might for these events. You guys tell me what you think about that. But we were discussing about how on point this week's outlook was, right? Let's be honest. I'm not always 100% accurate, right? But this week was just beautiful, right? NFP week, always one of my bests. And we had just beautiful delivery. Very sad that it is the only day, well, disappointed, I guess, that it's the only day that I can do a review with you guys, because there were some beautiful setups Monday and Tuesday as well. There was a very nice trade, but a lot more filtering for Tuesday. But we'll go right into it, right? So we already have our bias. I don't have to explain it, right? But you know what? I will. Premium of our current range, we have our higher time frame point of interest, the first premium in efficiency, as we all know, right? So what do I know? Well, once we tap this, our new target is going to be the liquidity below. We have rebalanced our inefficiency. We are now ready to head to our drawn liquidity, right? Which we did beautifully. Why this target? Because we induced it, right? So for me, it's all about this. And there was so many SMT here. And I believe I discussed it very quickly in the weekly outlook. But I say it, when on the higher time frame, you just keep making SMT on the same direction, right? In this case, at the lows. This is an objective for me. So I don't see SMT as, okay, well, this won't be broken in this case, because it just keeps diving into it. I know this has to be broken. And I'm waiting until there is no SMT to then trust that process, right? Which is, once again, the same drawing I have. I'm going to keep that on my chart, see where it takes us. But definitely some very nice PA into the week. What days do we trade? NFP week, right? With my specific understanding, of course, perhaps you trade every single day. But with how I view news, I'm only interested early on in the week and then Friday after NFP. And if you look at the price action, you had Monday, beautiful expansion. Tuesday, beautiful expansion as well. And Friday, beautiful expansion. That's all you need. Don't need anything else. If I would have traded Wednesday AM, I would have been looking for a long off of this discount array, right? Retracement into our range. But we're not talking about those complicated ones when you have beautiful, simple setups. Let's go more in depth about Friday, and let's go into our 15-minute chart. Why the 15-minute, right? That's our intraday time frame. That is where I will frame all of my trades and all of the frameworks from my trades. Now, I did make a post on Twitter earlier today, but let's just, I don't want to remove all drawings, but let's remove those drawings, make sure there are none here and no longer any here. Perfect. Looking at this, you have your line for New York Open, right? Very simple to see, but you have NFP at 8:30. So I'm actually just going to remove that line for a second. Very big update coming for that indicator, by the way, to just make it just better. Right, so more options, more settings allowed for the user. But what did we form with that NFP candle? And what do we always say about NFP? Well, NFP oftentimes runs on side with price. So it goes in the direction that we are looking for. We go for an expansion and distribution from that. What can confirm or invalidate even that idea? Well, what I need for me, once again, to confirm or invalidate that idea is SMT. Now, on my 15-minute chart, there is none that just jumps to face, right? There could be some, but I know, this is too late, right? I'm looking specifically at this high. We'll go down to the lower time frames and find our SMT. But what we are focused on being NFP is we have our first initial distribution, and then we are looking for a retracement into that array that we created for New York to expand. Now, my students know I have been trading this specific model, well, not even a model, this specific trade I have taken every single NFP in the past probably a year and a half. It is always the same thing, right? There is one time that I remember very, very precisely, right, where we reversed on NFP, and it was like such a big thing because we never do. What do? We form a fair value gap, we trade back into it, 930 runs with price. That's it. It is that simple. You guys want to be profitable and you're not, just trade this once a month. There you go. You're making money now. You're welcome. No, I'm being cocky there, but honestly, it is very, very high probability. So I'm very excited to be bringing that data to Rice Statistics soon. But this is, since it is a news fair value gap, what I would treat as my higher time frame point of interest. And now, just to remind you guys, what do I look for after this? Right? So I have my fair value gap that formed higher time frame point of interest. So now what do I need? Well, I need a unicorn and I need SMT. That's it. So what am I looking for? Well, I'll look for SMT. Now the SMT I had marked out, I don't know if you guys saw my tweet. I don't even think it was this one. I think I was looking back here, actually. Yes, but I did not even notice the precise SMT here, which is not a target. Let's put the right template on there. Starting to get a lot of lines here, like this, and let's put it here as well. By the way, I just did Control-C, Control-V, copy and paste. Let's just bring this guy up so that we don't have such a hard time seeing it, right? So there was SMT at the news release. That's what I've been trying to showcase with my tiny little guys right there. There was SMT at the news release. What does this tell you? Judah swing. And yes, on one candle, it's very hard to just visualize the move from the open to the high as, okay, well, that's my Judah swing and I'm now ready to trade, right? But this is all I need, right? If you guys remember, I don't have any specific rules in relation to SMT. Of course there are, and there are ways to look at better SMT than other. But I don't need to know that. Why? Because all I need, my only rule is that there has to be divergence present in the market. Is there? Yes, and at a key time, right? At my news delivery. I'm ready. Moreover, you do have some SMT. I believe I saw some SMT here, which I actually don't see at the moment. I think this one was hard to notice, and I didn't notice it took out the highs there. But you have SMT anyways here, right? There are a lot of small SMTs we can notice in this area, probably a little bit nicer on a 5-minute chart in this case. But I don't care for that. I have SMT, that's check on my list. What else do I need? Well, I'm looking for a bearish breaker block. Okay. When do I start looking for trades? Well, I wait for the equities open, right? I wait for 930. At 930, where is the first bearish breaker block to form? Well, it was formed at 931. I don't choose. I take the first present to me. Why? Because I don't have time to be thinking. I talk about this quite often, but I am not a good trader psychologically. I know this. I am greedy and I am very aggressive and I tend to overtrade. So how did I fix this? Well, by having rules that there is no way I can break, and they are so simple that if I don't follow them, I know I don't follow them. That sounds crazy, but it does mean that if I make a mistake, there is no way to justify it. It is a mistake. And every time I take a trade, it is following those simple rules. Yes, Speacock, I believe it's the first time I'm seeing you here, so I'll give you a quick rundown, right? I run these events for free, by the way, multiple times a week. I always announce it in the announcements when they will be for the specific week on Sunday, just before our weekly outlook. And they are all being recorded and added to YouTube. You can actually either go through official links or directly in the YouTube channel. I have a little bot that just posts every single video there. So you can find now, hey, guys, almost a year of things, right? I think we're up to 40-something weekly outlooks. So crazy how much content is getting on that channel. But yes, it is all available. You can look back. It is my way of showing you guys that I'm here to actually provide value, you know? But yes, just to get back into my train of thought, is just you need a very simple framework. Nice logo plug right there for us. That was perfect. So first bearish breaker block to form. And then what am I looking for? Well, I'll zoom in for this one so it's a little bit easier to see. But I'm looking for the first overlapping PD array. So what am I looking for? That's why I like this little cross thing. As I always talk about, right? It's a cross. I just prefer the dot because I don't like the big plus in my face. But what I'm looking for is the horizontal level. So I see my breaker block and I'm looking horizontally because I don't want to miss any inversion fair value gaps that were formed there. Where is the closest array? Well, this is not yet a fair value gap, but no matter if it was or not, my closest array is this inversion fair value gap right here. Let me make that blue. I like blue. Thanks, Wolfe, for linking that. That's awesome. We'll have a rebranding coming to the YouTube channel soon. You guys, I think you guys will enjoy it. But from that inversion fair value gap, that's my unicorn. I don't have a choice. When was the breaker block formed? Here. Now, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I entered beforehand, right? I definitely did. Why? Because there is a breaker block here that was formed beforehand, now, of course, invalidated. But I see that we are ready to create a breaker. I waited for time to align, and I entered before the breaker was formed. But what if you didn't? Okay, well, your entry is at the same exact level, one candle after, right? Yes, cheater, Emil. Okay. I'm cheating the game, fair enough. But here's the truth, that's where you're at. Why? Because you wait for this to be taken out, which is what creates your breaker block, right? And so then the next candle over is your entry, if you're looking at it purely mechanically. Now, 3PD array stop loss rule, where is it? Well, I have fair value gap, inversion fair value gap, order block. And whenever an order block is next to a swing point like this, well, whenever the order block is actually not the swing point, I place my stop on the swing because I count this as part of the order block. And look at the fucking precision. I'm sorry, but wow. I was quite happy with seeing that. Breaker form equal, it'll work, no miss. Breaker invalidated equals valid loss, move on. There you go. Well said. Right? I always talk about this. When I show you guys setups, I show you guys the losses before the wins too. Why? Because it doesn't take away from the win at all. Exactly. Well said, Perez. Mechanical trading just overcomes psychology with routine. I like the way you put it. Definitely. But that's the thing, right? You can be the worst trader ever. I mean, can you follow a rule set? No, well, teach yourself to follow some rules. That's it. You don't need to teach yourself to be able to handle greed and to be able to not overtrade and to be happy with small results. No, I'm not happy when I have to close my charts and I'm down 5K per account on multiple accounts. But I'm following my rules, so it makes it easy. Takes away the decision making from it. And then, of course, I think it's pretty easy to notice that there is a high probability take profit here because there is nothing right up till here. And I like to use my standard deviations, as you guys know, breaker block standard deviations. In this case, it was also very nice to notice the bigger breaker, right? And see how these things align from that bigger breaker, which is also a 5-minute breaker block. I think, I don't want to be too precise there because I'm unsure that it is, but it is of a longer duration, right? 2 to 2.5 reversal range, followed with the 4 standard deviation from your breaker. That is my one and only partial right there. Beautiful target. And you know what? You're up 4.34R, partial before. Who cares, right? Look at, just make sure it's mechanical, right? So premium and discount, I'll look at the first discount and efficiency, and I'll look at take profit in here, for example. And that's still, I think it's almost 2R. Yeah, almost 2R. You know, you're never going to be pissed at taking money beforehand because you're still making money. So, oh, I could have made more. Yeah, but you still made money. So you're never going to care for that. Well, at least you should never care for that. That is my semi-professional opinion. Let's just say it like that. But looking at this after that partial, is there really much you can wait for other than our target we had previously mentioned, which are the equal lows? Let's actually mark it out as such. Let's go back to our daily because we haven't seen it in a while, which are these equal lows, which we induce. Let's mark them out as relative equal lows. Go back to the 1 minute right here, and we see beautiful equal lows, -4 standard deviations in confluence. That would be my final close. That was actually my final close myself today. Very, very simple, very quick. I think I really missed it. I missed it, definitely. It's good to get back into it correctly, right? And coming back from a great trip, met the WAP team. They are awesome people. Only good things to say with them, and most of the creators I met there as well. And I'm definitely hyped to get back into it, guys. So there's going to be a lot coming. And as you guys know me, I don't like to advertise too much. That's just not who I am and not who I want to be. But there are some cool stuff coming, and definitely will be providing more value this year. Damn, a lot of time for just one trade, all right? Now, am I going to talk about the PM session? No, not at all. We could, because there was a lunch trade, but the truth is you had one opportunity to short if you were long. That's what we're going to talk about in a second. So in my personal opinion, you should never be looking at trading the PM session. And see, I'm telling you guys, it is a win. It is a winning trade with a mechanical framework, but I don't want to look at it because you shouldn't be looking at price at that time. Unless if you're only trading the PM, then that's different rules, right? But looking at this, once your target has been met, relative equal lows, can I start looking for long retracements? Sure. Of course, I'm never going to look for a long if I just short it, right? Look at this. You just made probably, what is that? I'm trying to do quick maths. You probably made like 4.7, 5 point something R realized. Why the hell would you be wasting your time looking for a long after? Just lock in your profits for the day. And it's Friday. Go enjoy your day, right? Well, let's say you did not take this. Then I would still justify being able to take a 10 a.m. reversal, right? You see that opening price right here. Imagine the 4-hour candle in this sense. If I'm imagining the 4-hour candle, I see open into low, and then I'm justifying that we are going higher and we can retrace into our current daily range, right? I can justify this. And looking at my 15-minute chart, where would be my retracement objective, right, for this move? Well, I would look at the most recent range, which is the range of the move that I just traded. And from that range, my first premium inefficiency has already been mitigated. But we'll still look at it. Oh, no, it has not actually. It was formed with that 10 to 10-15 move. So that's actually pretty nice. But before then, it would have been the order block that is higher. So we'll, the fair value at below the order block, sorry. So we'll also mark that out and go back to our 1-minute chart to see something. I am getting spammed by calls. So you guys just give me 1 minute so I can see if it's an emergency or not. Okay, it is not an emergency. I apologize for that, guys. But going back to our 1 minute, as I said, right here, you'd be looking for a reversal. That fair value gap that we drew up right here, and let me change the color here, is my first premium inefficiency, but it was only formed at 8:15. So let's put up not a vertical line, just a little separator at 10:15. So before 10:15, that's not even an inefficiency, but as we just marked out here, you would have still had a higher time frame objective. Once again, higher time frame point of interest. What am I looking for as confirmation? SMT. Do I have SMT? Yes, you have SMT at the exact low as SMT does, right? Let's be honest, it is just awesome. SMT right here. What does that tell you? Well, since ES took out that low, I can treat NASDAQ as if it did as well. Let's go here and look at this level and mark out what would have been a breaker block, right? If we took out this low, but we did take out this low because we took it out on ES. Now, I understand that for beginning traders, this is a little harder to visualize because I'm telling you, oh, well, because this did that, then this one did that. But really, I do a bunch of examples, so just follow along and it will just, you'll start seeing it. Definitely will start seeing it. Did I just click on breaker block? Hello? My template is not working. I hate that. Going back into it, right? You have your breaker block right here. I don't know why I can't change the color. Breaker block, I guess my templates don't work anymore. Okay, well, there are worse things in life than this. I'll fix it afterwards. But, oh, there we go. It was just having a hard time catching up. Looking at this, as I said, breaker block right here. What are you looking for? overlapping PD array. There are none right up until this point. Can I call this a unicorn? No. Why? Because it's too far. It's almost 20 handles gone. That's 20 handles that I should have been in a trade at that point. So I can't justify taking this. But right after, you formed another breaker block. So can you justify taking it then? Sure. When we create it, and then we have no arrays to enter on the trade from. The truth is, you could have waited a little while and just not had an entry. Or you could have anticipated the breaker, which I do like to do sometimes, but only when we close above. So I'd be looking at that range, and I'd be looking at what will be my breaker block, last up close candle. And as soon as we close above it, I can look, sorry about that, I can look at this as a breaker. But truth is, you had no fair value gap or inversion fair value gap at that point. So unless you took the inversion fair value gap before the breaker was formed, which, look, is a great trade, right? I'm never going to bash against that. That is a beautiful trade. But is that my model? No. So I'm never going to consider taking that. Well, that's not true. But that's how it should be for a beginner, right? And I would not take this on all my accounts. I would take this on my gambling account, which I do have. Because as I said, I am a greedy overtrading trader. So I want to make sure that if ever I need to release those sentiments, I have an account that I am not scared of blowing. It is that simple. I protect all my other accounts by having an account I'm willing to blow. And that account has $1,000 to $2,000 at a maximum time, and I go for home runs on it. When it pays off, I get a 15, 20K payoff. And when it doesn't pay off, I lose my 1 to 2K 2 or 3 times in a row. Yeah, undercover degen. Look, I'm not scared of being honest here. All right? You'll get the real trading from me. You won't get the bullshit. And a lot of people are transferring into transparency, and I love it. It's beautiful to see. And I'm bringing you guys along my path. And yes, my path is not perfect, but it works for me. Right? So for me, I know that I need to release those degen things. And sometimes I see a beautiful trade. I understand that trade, but it's not my model. So it's not going to go on all of my accounts, and it's not going to be counted as a real trade. So I'm just going to go and risk tiny amounts of money on it. Rise model is an 80% win rate. So is it really a gamble, or is all you have to go? Okay, well, that's awesome. Appreciate the honesty. I too am a greedy degen trader. That's awesome to hear, Speacock, I guess, right? It's just, you're going to have so many problems. So I just make sure that some of my trading is safe. And if I ever just flip a switch and really need to release that energy, I have ways to do so. It hasn't happened in a while. I'm going to be honest. That account has been dormant, just paying $5 for market data every single month. Not much going on there. I appreciate that for us. In 2025, I think I'm going to be sharing a lot more about my trading performance. So not just, okay, well, look, I took this trade, but really, okay, how much money, how did I manage it, and stuff like that. But when I say in 2025, I do mean later in the year, because I want to make sure that the Rise Statistics app is at a place where I'm happy with before diving into this. Because this is going to be bringing a lot of people to the community that I'm currently not ready to handle. So you guys are in early. Glad to have you with us, as always. I will be showing my accounts. It's going to happen, Wolfe. It's going to happen. Before we call it a night, do we have any questions? And also, I just want to say, guys, thank you for showing up in numbers here. On a Friday night, we don't see 13 people in here, all right? And it's very awesome to see you all, and especially on my first PA review of the year and the first one back from New York. I am very excited to see you all here. So I just want to say that I truly appreciate you guys being here. I'm seeing a lot of people type, so I'm going to give you guys a chance. If you have any questions, I do have time, and I am glad to answer questions. Thank you, Ferez. I appreciate that very much. And thank you, Speacock. My pleasure, brother. I was already doing these. You got to know, these reviews I've been doing since I started trading. I was just doing it for myself before. So I thought, why not share it with the community, right? Same with my weekly outlooks. The OGs will remember that I had a Notion for my weekly outlooks where I did these exact things. I just did them in writing. I'm just bringing you guys along my journey as a trader, right, which is ever changing. As you scale up, trading changes. So glad you guys are here for it. Gonna give you guys another second, seeing still some people type. So if we have any questions, usually not many questions, but I'm always glad when there are, glad to answer them. So never stop yourselves from asking questions. All right. We seem to be out of questions. Oh, there we go. Thank you for sharing. Appreciate it. You called it with expecting bearish movement. Definitely, Jay. I'm glad you noticed it, and it's always my pleasure. Will this be uploaded to YouTube? Yes. My Discord is lagging so much I couldn't follow along. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, bro. It's not just your Discord, apparently. There was a lot of trouble. But yes, this is uploaded to YouTube. Wolfie, you mind just relinking that if you still have that copied? Oh, well, here, I'll scroll. Yes, it is. There we go. And let's do at YouTube. It's my pleasure, Kim. Glad to see you again. Always here consistently. Love to see it. On that note, guys, I'm going to wish you all the best of nights. Enjoy. Oh, well, a little question before we go. But do you expect prop firms to get regulated out of existence this year? I do not. It's just you have access to so many prop firms right now that some are going to go and more are going to come, and then some are going to go again. You're going to be in a constant rotation. It's just there's so much money being passed around that it's always going to be ever changing, right? But Top Step's not going anywhere. And I can say that with confidence. They've been on the board of the Chicago Exchange for what now? 12 years? Not scared at all for them. There's always going to be some props available to you. That opportunity is never going to go. But yes, the goal of prop firms is to take money out and put that in a personal account. Definitely. But some will be here long term. Yes, exactly what I'm saying. I heard about some changes with CME. Yes, that would not have any effect. It would change the market open. So basically, it would change that the markets would be technically open all the time. But for us, they're already open all the time. They're already 24/7 because we have access to electronic trading hours, right? So they're just changing regular trading hours. Will that change some stuff? You know what? I don't believe it will, but time will tell. And worst case scenario, you know what I'll do? I'll adapt. Because I have so much data now, I can trade whenever, wherever, on whichever asset at any given time. So NASDAQ doesn't work anymore? Okay, I'll go to oil. I'll go to gold. I'll go to copper. Silver, too, is a great one. So really, you shouldn't be scared about stuff like this. But yes, on that note, guys, I do have some other stuff to do tonight, actually. And no, I don't use the stat map, but I think it's a great indicator. I have my own data that I use for average manipulation and distribution. But Joshua did a great job doing that indicator. So if you want to see average levels, that's definitely a very good option. FearNet, is that what Rise does? Rise Statistics is an app that shares a lot of data. I would definitely recommend that you go look on our website. There's a section in our website, which I will link to you right now, where you can see every single page that is available in the app. So you can go on there and look through and see example pictures, all that stuff. Let me just link that to you. And you'll see all of the available data on the app. But the goal is to go way past just average daily or time frame manipulation and distribution level. Appreciate that once again, Wolfie. You guys have a great night. All right. Good luck. Well, I was going to say good luck trading tomorrow. I'm a little messed up, guys. I need to go to bed. Let's be honest here. Coming back from New York, I am extremely tired. You guys enjoy your weekend. All right. We'll see each other back on Sunday for our weekly outlook. You guys have a great time. See ya.